afternoon, Faye.
Good afternoon.
In the last video, we went over what the paradigm shift is, what kind of changes it makes, and why it's important. What would you say the next step to making this paradigm shift is?
To getting my brain there, I literally have to take that information and generalize it, transfer it, and apply it, and that's really hard. When now I have this new stuff coming in, my brain's having to reformat, and I need ways to make sense of it all, to apply it.
And have we provided those ways?
In particular, the To Baby Talk is one of the best things that we have, and it's on the website. You've always done it for the families when we start the service, and it becomes the kickoff for the paradigm shift.
Well, that talk can run anywhere between 45 minutes and 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, what would be a few items that you found particularly impactful towards making that paradigm shift in the To Baby Talk? What do you think was most powerful there towards making the paradigm shift?
Well, the second baby, you go through 5 different repetitions of no one coming. The baby cries because the baby's hungry or needs changed and even bored, and no one comes.
Mm-hmm.
And that just saying that is hurtful. Thinking of that baby laying there, and then if you take it on down through the To Baby Talk, if someone comes and they're hurtful, that's even worse.
Right.
that abusive response.
So you thought it was very important to note the actual experience of the baby with neglect or abuse, how that and then there was the part of how that experience impacted them. What did they learn from that?
Really, that they weren't valuable. It's just like, can't I, get my needs met? Where is someone? Can I rely on the adults in my world? And it's like, neither of those happen in this baby's experience of no one coming or someone coming and being abusive. And it really helps me then look at a child, or even now, we worked with adults with those same experiences, and wrap my brain around the idea that this person didn't have someone that came for them.
And how did that impact them? How did that change their lives?
Yeah.
What else on the To Baby Talk? What else was valuable?
What they learned about themselves. We've had kids at the end of it, little kids, 4 or 5 years old, being able to say, oh yeah, that was me. They can take that information because of the images it supplies. And
what about that part? What about that part near the end when we encourage the families and the parents and the kids to ask the question, who's at fault here? Who's to blame?
That one, I love watching faces with that. Plus, it's also a little scary for me because I'm always afraid that someone's going to say, well, the second baby's a bad baby, but everybody just, they almost stutter and they're hesitant and they, I think universally, I don't know that you've ever had anyone say that the baby's bad. It's like, neither baby's bad.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I did have a traumatized child one time say, this baby's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that's consistent. That child was actually being very, very honest.
Yeah.
In their world, they were a bad kid.
Yeah, well, they've been told that so many times. And even the kids in foster care, which is always heartbreaking for them to say, it's my fault that I'm in foster care.
Yeah. I'll tell you that thought right there, that last thought of I'm to blame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the bad kid. I think that stands in the way of all healing.
But it does, and it's so, cemented in. They truly believe it. And how many times have we even worked with kids who say, yeah, I'm bad, just send me back. You know, I don't fit here.
And that leads right in then. One of the other things that I think is very important in two baby talk is the idea that in the same way there was a hurt part caused, a hurt part can be healed.
And that, what helps me get there, again, as I said, the paradigm shift all around trauma, no, it's reformatting my brain. Going back to the research around the neurology and how brains are flexible and therefore healing can occur. You know, our brains are flexible throughout lifetime, sometimes more than others, but having that fact that our brains can heal, and you know what we do know about trauma, it's all neurologically based. You know, it starts with the brain.
I really, you know, you mentioned it in the last video, and I really like it, that idea of reformatting. Just changing an old paradigm for a new can create, and does create, so many more opportunities to interact with your child in a way that heals instead of a way that reinforces the old paradigm of I'm bad.
It does take a parent time to slow it down and not act from old paradigms.
Exactly. It's not something that's just acquired in a day, is it?
No, but what we do know, when we spawn from the old paradigm, the kids are going to be responding from that old paradigm. And we're getting a lot of clashes, a lot of behaviors that come from that. So it kind of becomes proof it doesn't work.
Excellent. One of the effects of the old paradigm is, and we hear this all the time, is my child is angry all the time. And in our next video, we'll discuss why that is.
Oh, we do see it. Anger. I mean, you know, we're not just talking about, no, I want my way. It's like rage. You know, we go all the way across the board.
Yeah.
So that's an important one for us all to remember, that the trauma really changes the brain.
All right. Well, that's enough for this one.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you for listening.